afternoon, Pokésports, and welcome to another VGC Battle Stadium Series 12 video. Bring you a Butterfree team. Now, this isn't just any Butterfree team. I'm not just, saying, hey, look, there's a Butterfree on a team. It's not actually a good team. No, this is the team that I decided to bring with me to Secaucus Regionals of 2020. And I ended up going 5-3, placing number 37th out of, what was it, like 160, 170? So that's a pretty decent showing for Butterfree. I almost made top 32. I was really close. There was a lot of 5-3s that ended up making top 32, ended up getting CP. Unfortunately, my resistance wasn't good enough to get me there, but that means Butterfree lost some games. And not only did Butterfree win some games, it won most of them. Like, I found myself losing more games if I didn't bring Butterfree than if I did. So there's actually a pretty interesting thing, and there's actually a reason why I wanted to run Butterfree. I needed a redirection on this team. I felt like doubling into my Blastoise or doubling into my Thundurus, for example, was very prevalent when I was going through practice with this team. But I also did want some form of sleep. Butterfree, by having Compound Eyes, has 97% accurate sleep powders. So that's pretty good. Not only does it have that, it does also have redirection, and it does also have Tailwind as another form of speed control. So that means I'm allowed to take the Trick Room off my Calyrex Shadow and give it a lot more offense, which is, specs does hurt a lot. But overall, the rest of the team is very similar to teams that I have used in the past, specifically like, this one where I run Blastoise and Zacian and friends. So I think the reason behind that is because I'm just comfortable with Blastoise, Zacian, Calyrex Shadow teams, and I think Butterfree does have a pretty decent spot on the team. Hopefully you guys will see that showcase today. And if you guys are excited to see this team in action, go ahead, hit the like button down below, and subscribe to Pokésports if you haven't done so already. And with that said, let's get on to today's videos. Rainier Sun. That is something that I actually didn't see a lot of in Secaucus, but it's interesting that we're going to be playing against it because my team does have ways of dealing with it. So I'm not super concerned. I think my best lead for the Rainier Sun is definitely going to be the Thundurus Butterfree lead with a Calyrex Zacian in the back. We're going to leave the Blastoise behind, but that's fine because it's all about Butterfree today. I will try to bring Butterfree to literally every single battle. One of the most common leads with this team, at least in my experience, has been Thundurus Butterfree. Because Thundurus gives Butterfree the speed control it needs, because if you guys didn't know, shocker, Butterfree ain't the fastest thing in the world. It's actually pretty slow compared to most Pokemon. Typically, a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon are slow because the speed has just crept up higher and higher each and every generation following. But yeah, Butterfree slow is the point that I'm trying to get at. Thundurus helps enable the sleep to happen as soon as possible. And on top of it, the other lead that I do also see myself doing is like a Zacian lead with the Butterfree. Because then the redirecting, max Quakes and Earth powers is really great for Zacian. It can really help Zacian get the KOs that it needs. Now, I brought Zacian into Rainier. We'll see if I get punished for it, but the thing is, like, yes, Zacian is bad into Rainier, I get it. But at the same time, it's also still dumb. It's also still a dumb Pokemon, and I don't think I have a better Pokemon on my team suited for this specific matchup. Maybe Landorus, I guess. But, hey. Who needs Landorus, right? All right, I think this is pretty straightforward from us. I think this is just a nice, simple, let's max Airstream the Grim. We want to get some damage on Grim, at least now. Now let's just go for the Sleep Powder on Zard. Starting off the day with bedtime, folks. It's been a long time since I recorded. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I pre-recorded a lot of the videos for the last week because, again, I was going to be at Secaucus Regionals and I didn't want you guys to miss a video. So it's like I feel like I'm not prepared to be commentating again. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It feels like I haven't done this in years. But honestly, it's time to play Pokemon, man. It's fun talking out my thought process. They're actually going to Dynamax right away. So that means it's not afraid of my Thundurus. I wonder why. Why are you not afraid of Thundurus? T-waving my poor Butterfree. Are they just going all in on this Butterfree right now? They respect Butterfree that much? That's a lot of health on Grim. Don't you wish you had a reflect up or something? Okay. Butterfree is still gonna get the sleep here, maybe. They rock fall me. That doesn't do enough because there's no sun. I think this is still a pretty decent trade as long as I don't get slept. I mean, as long as I don't get parried. I don't get parried and they get slept. Perfect. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because I'm going to show you guys another interesting special tech with my Pokemon and my teams. Because now the Charizard has to commit to swapping out, right? I mean, I guess it could stay in, but it doesn't help itself by staying in. I can go for lightning on this Zard, and I can get all of my health back with this cool thing called Pollen Puff. Man, a lot of my friends were really doubting. My friends, I mean Angel Lost, also known as Pierre on Discord, and Mocha VGC, also known as Rowan. They were doubting Butterfree when I first told them that, yeah, I'm going to bring Butterfree to the regionals. But then after we were playing some games on cart, they're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Of course, it does have some very obvious weaknesses, like the fact that you have to just worry about, what's that move? Taunt a lot. So if there's a Pokemon that can carry Taunt, or that can, like, has Taunt, then you got to find your way around it somehow. Charizard's going to keep sleeping, thankfully. Here's a Pollen Puff into my own Thundurus. Thanks for all the health, Tom. Amazing. Tom the Butterfree. All right, now we're in a fairly decent position, I want to say. The Grimbo's down next turn. It's going to set up dual screens. Who cares? What I'll do now is I'm just going to set up another Airstream for the Zard on my final turn of Dynamax, and I'm going to set up the Tailwind for the late game so that my background sweepers can take care of this game. They essentially lose the Zard 100% of the time here. They have no form of speech control that they could stop my Thundurus with. And even if they had Scary Face, then +2 for me, right? Okay, I guess they're thinking. I mean, honestly, if I were them, I'd just sack these two off. They're done. Just sack these two off. Give them to the gods. No, they're swapping. You're gonna keep the Sleepy Zard? Is that a bright idea, Tom Tom? Into the Groudon. Listen, Groudon's not gonna appreciate this Airstream. Granted, there is Reflect Up and stuff. And fine, I get it. And unfortunately, I can't sleep anything else here because of the electric terrain that I set for myself. There's a little bit of a synergy issue there, but you know, it's called don't go for lightning before you go for sleep powder. It just takes timing. But we're fine. Butterfree's back to neutral speed. There's a Tailwind, which means Butterfree's now the fastest thing in the universe. There's no sand, so there won't be a Grimmsnarl getting knocked out here, unfortunately. But I think that's still okay. Because they don't have Dynamax, and we can take advantage of that. I want to go for the Fly on the Groudon. Followed by just a little Pollen Puff on Grim. I mean, at this point, Butterfree's completely nullified their Dynamax option. The Charizard's essentially not a Pokemon anymore. They can't avoid, you know, the damage that I'm about to do here, because this is probably going to be an Assault Vested Groudon. So it's still a pretty decent spot to be in. Now, Groudon can go for Insert Rock move here if it wants. Or Insert Fire move here if it wants. Goodbye, Butterfree. Thank you for your service. And now, next is the straight and simple. It's the Calyrex sweeps the game time. I think, at least, it's time for the Calyrex sweeps the game. Especially since they just lost their Dark type. They go back into Zard, who is really going to want to switch out into Zacian. You don't want that Zard in here right now. And this is what I meant by, like, why would you preserve Zard, man? It's just going to help me. Granted, again, they do have light screen up. I get it. But we have choice specs to nullify that, right? And choice specs with just a +1 is already ridiculously high. They try to protect. They don't get it, unfortunately. They're not willing to switch in their Zacian into that spot for good reason, too, right? Like, why would you? I don't actually think the Astral Barrage will be enough to knock out the Groudon, though. Considering the screens are up, considering that's maybe AV Dawn, yeah, it's not enough for the Groudon, which is unlucky. But if somehow my Calyrex can manage to live this turn, Fire Punch is gonna hurt, though. Oh, they went for Thundurus. Okay. Fine by me. Nice and simple, nice and easy, right? Their last is Zacian and company. It has to be Zacian, right? Like, you don't bring Rinyasun and just leave the Zacian behind. There's my Zacian. Where's yours? Gastrodon. That's different. It's definitely different. But it's also not awful. I sub here in case they try to... Oh, yeah, in case they try to yawn. And we just Astral till the end of the world. I don't see a way they can maybe come back from this, right? I think just the presence of this Calyrex should be enough to just get them at least a little bit scared. It's a +1 Calyrex with specs. They got 2 ground Pokemon that are slower than Calyrex, and one of them is at 1 HP. So we should be theoretically okay, which means Butterfree is taking a win in today's episode, folks. Maybe. I mean, they're considering their options, which is like, hey, man, I get it. Okay, just an Astral Barrage coming out now. Let's see how much damage this does to Gastro. I'm a little curious. That's through Light Screen, folks. That is through Light Screen. Gonna get another Grimnay here. Followed by the sub, just so I don't get yawned. And I know what you guys might be thinking, like, is the sub actually necessary, Kevin? I mean, it could be. You don't know, right? Like, why would I not sub there? Like, imagine for some reason a Sacred Sword won't KO. Granted, it probably still would have KO'd there, but still. Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit annoying. Tailwind now, Peters. Doesn't actually matter. These two Pokemon are like literally one of the fastest duo in the game. All right, now I'll just go for these 2 moves. Astral Barrage followed by Behemoth Blade should be more than enough to take the game. Battle was canceled and Butterfree is taking a win today, folks. Now this is a Pokemon that's been appearing a lot, at least in the Secaucus regionals, and that's Alcremie. But typically it's on a, you know, Calyrex Ice and a Palkia team. It's not with a Dialga and a Zacian. So it is interesting to see it in this context. Also, Marowak, hello. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. And a Whim, which can either be their Tailwind setter or Trick Room setter. Who really knows? I'm going to leave Butterfree because that just makes a lot of sense in this scenario. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for Butterfree and Zacian. We can bring Calyrex, but if they set Trick Room, we're kind of screwed in that sense. So I am leaning more towards Landorus. And maybe Blastoise in the back, but they have the Rilla. Let's do Calyrex. Well, we're gonna pretty much always Dynamax the Landorus here. We just have to make sure we get the Intimidate drops where we need them first. Half of their team is physical, so those Intimidate drops are definitely gonna come in handy. Now, Dialga can set Trick Room if it wants, especially with my lead, but I think if they end up doing that, I just go for like a Sleep Powder. Of course, Safety Goggles, Dialga isn't unheard of. And we also have to worry about the Alcremie because Alcremie has Sweet Veil. But considering this lead, I'm not actually quite sure what they plan to do. Are they like a fake tiers thing going on here, maybe? You think? Could be. I'm gonna try to put you to sleep. And then I'm gonna sub. Assuming that you're gonna try to Trick Room. They Charmed. That's annoying. So now I'm -2. And it looks like the Dialga is gonna remain on the field undynamaxed, which is interesting. And here's a Sleepy Time. The good news is they can't Charm me again, which would have been even more annoying. Bad news is I no longer do any damage. But I do think getting rid of this Charmer right away is going to make my life a little bit easier, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. I can't knock out Dialga with the Behemoth Blade, but I know I could definitely knock out Whim, who is not Tailwinding here. Could be Trick Rooming. But you're gonna be dead rooming, so that's fine. This is absolutely okay. Does have the Focus Sash on the Whim. Good to know. Endeavor. I mean, I guess. I don't think that matters though, right? It doesn't actually matter. That's the second turn of sleep for Dialga. I could Rage Powder this next turn of sleep because the third turn is always the least likely to happen. Oh, they had Alcremie that whole time with probably Sweet Veil and they didn't click it. Whatever. I'm going to Tailwind. Actually, they could Trick Room. There's no need to Tailwind, right? I'm going to Rage Powder. Just in case they go for the Earth Power, I can redirect it into a Pokemon that doesn't care. And this is a pretty good opportunity to just take a shot here on Alcremie. They don't let me, though. Let's see an Earth Power. Here's Butterfree Rage Powder. Show me the Earth Power, baby. Beyblade into a Protect, followed by... Wake Up. No. We're still behind sub, though. Issue is Sweet Veil, right? Big issue is Sweet Veil. They just saw the Rage Powder too, so they're not going to let me get away with it. I'm going to Sleep Powder just in case it's not Sweet Veil, but it's definitely Sweet Veil, you know? I'm also going to take that shot here before it starts to do a lot of Decorate shenanigans. It will get at least one Decorate off, and there isn't much I can do about that. That's just kind of the way Alcremie works. Now, I wonder, like, how the speed tiers work here, because I am max speed on Butterfree, but Butterfree is, like, inherently a lot slower than Dialga by, like, 20 points. So I wonder how the math works out here. They actually go for Mystical Fire to break my Zacian sub. Don't tell me I could have Rage Powdered again and gotten away with it. They Steel Spiked my Butterfree. Okay, well, the Sleep Powder was never going to connect anyway. And... they're +1 defense. I don't think we actually knock out the Alcremie. We might not knock out Alcremie, unfortunately. And they have a Berry. Yeah, this is a rough one. All right. All right, we'll see what we can do here. We'll see what we can do about this issue. It's a little bit of a conundrum. I think Landorus is definitely the play. Because I have Assault Vest and things. And I think I gotta go for Max Quick into the Alcremie spot. Followed by a Protect this turn, and then a Hard Swap next turn, and then preserve the Zacian for the late game. I think would be more beneficial than a Calyrex, though. Who do I want to preserve? Do I want to preserve Zacian or Calyrex? It's not an easy decision. I might sack off Zacian. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Just having a full health Calyrex is going to be real nice. All right, well, here's my Protect. Alcremie doesn't Protect, which is interesting. Goes for the Decorate. This is going to hurt, but we're AV. Oh, yikes. Let's see. They do go for the Wormwind just to make my Zacian a little bit slower, which is like part of the reason why. What if I attack there, man? Granted, it would have been a no damage attack anyway. unfortunately not enough damage. Do I have to double protect, man? Is this just like a double KO for my opponent this turn? I have to stall this Trick Room. Like, I don't have another choice. The issue is it has so many turns left. I'm gonna try to go for the double protect. Like, what? It's either I have a 30% chance to lose or a 0% or a 100% chance to lose. There's their protect. I got excited because I thought it was mine. Oh, I got it. Okay, I am excited. Double protect, baby. That's another turn I can stall Trick Room. Which is another turn that I don't have to bring out my Calyrex. They got a little bit more special defense here, which kind of sucks because Calyrex in the back is like, you know, trying to get off attacks. But hey, we can't always go what we want. Here's another Lando Quake coming in. A little bit more special defense on our side of the field as well. And now we got to make them choose. Do they want to knock out my Lando or do they want to knock out my... Oh, they might not even be able to because they are undynamaxed now. Okay. All right, we're just going to go for the Quake. And... I mean, I guess the play rough. It's not a great option no matter what we do. They decorate again, because why wouldn't they? The thing is, they don't actually need to decorate this many times. The thing is, at least one of my attacks are going to connect here. Yeah, they just flash can on my Lando. Unfortunate. Even at +2 with Assault Vest, it's not enough. We'll see how much the play rough does here. Good news is, they're now done with Trick Room after this turn. They only have +1 special defense. And I have a Calyrex with specs, which should be getting a +1 from this Alcremie right now. We still do encounter the problem of what the heck are we going to do against this Dialga. If I had Sacred Sword, I would be in a lot better position, I think. But that's just not the case. All right, let's go for the Astral. Part of me also wants to sub, but that might just be wasting my time. What does more? Base 100, not very effective, or base 90? Yeah, it's base 90 neutral. I have to keep going for play roughs, even though they're not doing any damage here because I'm like negative a billion. They protect Alcremie as they should. That is not even close to enough damage. I got a crit here. That doesn't look like a crit to me. Let's see who they decided to go. That's not good. Well, GG's, everybody. I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to come back from this, but... unfortunate that this happened. I mean, I don't really know what I could have done a little better. They're going to Dazzle Gleam because they think that I'm Sash, and they're going to go all in on my Calyrex. I think what I had to do was have Sacred Sword Swordimization for starters, and that Charm on the Whim turn 1 really did mess me up as well. These negative a billion. This negative a billion on my Zacian doesn't help also. You know what? GG's to my opponent. They played well. We'll give it to them. And that's what I mean. Like, Alcremie's a serious threat, man. Alcremie's a serious threat, and I'm not quite sure how to play against it yet. Because as you can see, they didn't lead with it. But they were still able to just get the job done, get Trick Room set up, and then set up Dialga with the Dynamax, with the spookiness. Make me very sad about it. But anyway, GG's to my opponent. They played super well. Super duper well. Butterfree kind of gets screwed over by Sweet Veil for obvious reasons. Lunala. That's another Pokemon that's been seeing a lot of popularity rises. At least in Secaucus Regional that at least I have seen. Like, I know both Aaron and Wolf decided to bring Lunala, which is interesting because, you know, Lunala is a really good Pokemon. You just tend to forget about it. This is definitely a Butterfree game, though. Because they have multiple forms of setting Trick Room, and I think they really do want to set Trick Room here. So let's just try to keep an eye out for it. No need to go, like, super hard into it, but also no need to forget about it, right? How about we go Zacian Butterfree here? I think we just have to go really, really big right off the bat. I do want to bring Calyrex here. Of course, I know they do have probably Wide Guard on one of their 2 Pokemon, but hey, that's what Dynamax is for. Speaking of Dynamax, Blastoise. We'll see where this goes. I do think Blastoise is pretty interesting here. It does very well into their Instant. Obviously, doesn't do well into their Rillaboom, but you can't prepare for everything. I don't think Rillaboom is really going to be a bring here. I don't think they look at my team, they're like, oh, there's a Blastoise, gotta bring Rillaboom. It's more of like, oh, there's a Zacian, gotta bring everything to stop Zacian. Never mind, they led with Rillaboom Thundurus. I mean, that's okay, I think. Obviously, Fake Out's kind of a threat for my Butterfree. And they also might even double in that spot. And if they do I care that much? Because if they double in that spot, I get the free sub on Zacian, which I think I'm kind of okay with. I think I'm going to make an attempted Sleep Powder here. Or should I make an attempted Tailwind just in case? Yeah, just in case it starts setting Airstreams, I'm going to Tailwind. I'm going to sub here. I'm playing this first turn super passively, but I'm trying to set up for the end game. Because there's only a good news that can end this turn. Either I get Tailwind up, or I am safe behind a sub. Both of which are great things. Now, if they set 1 Airstream and I don't get Tailwind up, I will be a little bit sad about it because my Calyrex can't just come in here and win the game on its own. Let's see what happens. They will Fake Out Butterfree. Zacian? That means I get Tailwind up. Hold on. Knuckle? Well, now I'm definitely gonna be faster. Is that not the biggest greed that you've ever seen in your life? What is that greed? Life Orb Knuckle. You really want that +1 that bad? Here's a Tailwind. Whoa. They showed 0 respect for my Butterfree. Let's make them regret it. Okay, now. Sleepy time. Followed by Behemoth time. Onto the Rillaboom. They Grassy Glide, they Grassy Glide. Okay, yeah, you better run. You better be scared. Oh, they are going for... Are they going for a high horsepower? Oh, wait, that's spooky, though. Oh, they live at 1, though. Oh, I might lose my Zacian, though. But keep in mind... They are going for high horsepower. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Well, okay then, Tom Tom. I see you, Big Tom. Can they one-shot my Calyrex, though? I don't think so, particularly. I think nothing changes here. They're definitely going to try to Grassy Glide my Cali. And unfortunately, Rage Powder will not work on them. I'm still going to try to sleep the Thundurus. And I think I will live. I know it's +1, but I think I'll live. That was a very interesting way of dealing with Zacian that I have never seen before. I do somehow live. And they take a lot of damage. That was a nice crit there. Doesn't actually matter because they're going to sleep right now. And now as long as they have no priority moves, Calyrex should be able to win the game on its own. That's a very interesting way that I've never seen before to deal with the Zacian. I will give that to my opponent. Because even Rage Powder wouldn't have mattered there. Which is why I didn't bother going for it. What do they have in the back? They had a bunch of things weak to Ghost, right? I think everything they had was weak to Ghost after that. Int, except that one. Now, Instant is one that I want to redirect for obvious reasons. And this is where the Butterfree will come in the handy. I feel like they will definitely not want to keep in their Thundurus for obvious reasons. I'm just going to go for the Rage and the Astral. Nothing here has Wide Guard. Their Lunala might. but nothing here has it. This is why I don't like Lunala and Calyrex Ice as a core, because it's like, oh, yeah, that one Pokemon with a very fast ghost move exists. But hey, I'll take it, man. It's a perfect matchup for my Calyrex, if I'm going to be entirely honest. We'll see how my opponent decides to deal with this. I'm essentially +2 in this situation too. They go for the follow me, the fake out, but that's irrelevant. As long as you're not hitting me with a ghost move, I mean a dark move, I don't care. See how much we do to Incin? That's half of Incin's health, and it's only gonna get worse. Calyrex is only gonna get stupider. They know we have Rage Powder. There's honestly very little they can do, and hey, if they're gonna sit here and try to be like, I got Wide Guard now, I'm clicking D-Max, man. Tailwind Peters, don't think it matters though. Rest of their team was relatively slow, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's their Tailwinder. Not their Tailwinder, their Wide Guarder. Kevin, are you really gonna Dynamax your Calyrex at 27? Yep. Yes, I am. Because my Blastoise should be able to beat the Incin in the back on its own, hopefully. And I think this definitely knocks out even through Shadow Shield. I'm pretty sure. As long as I get rid of this Lunala, I just there's no Trick Room left, so it's just gonna be Blastoise versus Incin in the back, and you know, as long as I can hit one Hydro Cannon, we're fine. Granted, you could theoretically miss that move like 6 times. Theoretically. Is it gonna happen? I hope not. Can it happen? Yep. All right, 54 HP Calyrex Shadow. See how much damage we can do to Lunala here. Here's Rage Powder just in case they try anything crazy. Just in case this is like Scarf Lunala or something wild. Nope, no Scarf Lunala. Here is a big old Phantasm and Sayonara. Get out of here, buddy. Butterfree's putting in some serious work this battle, man. Some absolute serious work. All right, now they go for the Flare Blitz. I will unfortunately have to say goodbye to my Butterfree. Thank you, Butterfree, for your kind help. Now all that's left is Blastoise coming on the field. Granted, there's like just nothing Incin can do here. There's not a form of speed control in the world to save this Incin. All right, let's end on our Blastoise. Let's put the final nail in this coffin. Hello, I am a Blastoise. Ooga booga, turtle turtle. Fake out for fun. And Overgrowth because it's funny. Let's do it. Oh, wow. They're actually going to play it out here. Wow. Never mind. I didn't expect that. I honestly thought it was just going to be battle was canceled. But GG's to my opponent. I got to show them my secret Overgrowth tech that I didn't get to click today because we didn't really fight too many guys. Did they live? They didn't, right? Okay, good. I honestly thought they lived. I was like, how do they just live at +2 at like 0 HP from a base of 130 move? I was so confused. Like, you could be like 6 times resisted. It would have still KO'd from that health. Anyway, that's Butterfree. Let's go ahead and get you guys that rental code. And here you have the rental code for the Butterfree team. Now, this team, when played well, can be very fun. There is a very severe weakness that I do see often. Specifically against Sweet Veil Alcremie. Obviously, don't bring Butterfree to that matchup. It doesn't really help too much. And another one that I did have a little bit of struggles against was Calyrex Shadow with Regieleki leads. 2 fastest Pokemon in the game. Very annoying when next to each other. And, you know, my team doesn't really have the best way of dealing with it. The best ways that I have found was leading with double genies and then making them choose which one they want to focus down. And then Landers with the AV can still live hits and can go for like some max quakes, get some more special defense, be annoying. So that's just kind of my best answer for it, but it still feels like a bad matchup, at least in my opinion. But overall, that's the team. Had a lot of fun with it. Did pretty decently in the Secaucus Regionals. If you guys are going to NAIC, I'll see you there. Will I bring Butterfree? Who knows? Maybe. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, you know, do hit the like button down below and subscribe to Pokésports if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for being here. Playing Pokemon this last weekend made me realize why I love the community so much and why I love playing this video game. And you guys are a part of that reason. So, thank you. Anyway, have a great night. Bye-bye.